Have you ever imagined that the fear of death is actually the reason you love life? Not because death is beautiful, not because we want to disappear, but because somewhere deep inside your mind, you know that every moment matters because it will not last forever. The sunset feels different because it ends. A hug feels warmer because it doesn't stay forever. A song can touch your heart because you know the last note is coming. We usually think fear is the enemy of happiness. We think if humans were not afraid of death, we would finally feel free. But what if the opposite is true? What if the awareness that life has an ending is exactly what gives every second its value? A world without endings might sound perfect, but maybe without endings, nothing would truly matter. Every animal on Earth tries to survive. A bird escapes danger. A deer runs from a predator. A creature feels pain and tries to stay alive. But humans are different. A deer runs because there is a threat in front of it. But you can lie awake at night, in a completely safe room, and still feel fear. Not because something is chasing you, but because your mind can imagine a future where you are no longer there. That is the strange gift of being human. The same mind that allows you to dream about tomorrow, allows you to imagine a tomorrow without you. Your imagination created art, science, stories, and civilizations. But it also created a question that no other creature seems to ask. What happens to me when my story ends? For thousands of years, humans have looked at death and searched for meaning. Not because we are weak, but because we are aware. Long before humans built cities, before books, technology, and everything we know today, something changed inside the human mind. Our ancestors began to bury their dead. They didn't simply leave bodies behind. They created rituals. They placed objects beside the dead. They acted as if this person was more than just a body. It was a sign that humans were no longer only surviving. They were searching for meaning. The moment humans understood death, they also discovered something else: the value of being alive. Because when you know something can be lost, you start to notice it. A normal morning becomes special. A simple conversation becomes important. A person you love becomes something you never want to take for granted. Death creates a shadow, but that shadow is what makes the light visible. But here is the part most people don't notice. The fear of death does not only appear when we think about dying. It quietly affects the way we live. It influences the goals we chase, the things we believe, the people we choose to love, and the stories we tell ourselves about who we are. Because deep inside, every human is trying to answer the same question: does my life matter? This is why people create, why they build, why they leave something behind: a painting, a song, a memory, a family, a moment that says, I was here. Maybe we are not only afraid of ending, maybe we are afraid of disappearing without leaving meaning behind. But the strangest thing is this: most people are not truly afraid of the moment of death itself. They are afraid of losing everything that makes them themselves: their memories, their dreams, their unfinished story. The fear is not only, I will stop breathing. The deeper fear is, will everything I was disappear? And this is where everything changes. What if death was not just an ending? What if it was the frame that gives life its shape? Think about a song. It only becomes powerful because it ends. Think about a story. It only becomes meaningful because it has a final page. Without an ending, there is no story at all. Only endless noise. This is why moments feel heavier when you realize they are temporary. A hug becomes deeper. A sunset becomes unforgettable. A simple goodbye suddenly feels important because your mind knows. This moment will never come back exactly the same way again. So maybe the fear of death was never your enemy. Maybe it was the quiet voice reminding you, pay attention, be here, love harder, live while you still can. Because you are not here forever, but this moment is. And that is exactly what makes it precious.